What's good, YouTube? Runicks Joe here. New season, new tournaments, and a lot of replays to show just to clear off of replays so we can save more. For the Meta Weekly 164 and 165, we played Yubel Fiendsmith. It was a super fun tournament. I have quite the tournaments to show you and a few ranked games to show you. We went on the Meta Weekly 164. We went 2-1. It was a super fun duels that we had in stream. I just wanted to break down my thoughts and how it went and just show more of my mindsets. We actually ended up, we were so close to making top 16. We made it to 17th place. This was my second attempt or third time making 17th place. We are so close. We're gonna someday top cut, and I can't wait for that. Someday we'll make it, but it's okay. We had fun. We learned a lot. Shout out to all my opponents that I dueled, because I'm doing everything correct. I am learning slowly but surely. So just jumping into it, the deck, again, we are messing around with ratios of just hand traps, and just with the meta changing, we're just messing around with things like Bestials and just hand traps. Again, the deck has not changed at all. You can always change the extra deck as you like. Again, with 3 flex spots, in my opinion: Desiree, High King Caesar, and Apollosa. Play it as you like. You can play things like Almirage, Necroquip Princess, things like that. But anyways, let's just go into some rank replays and then show you my tournament, showing my mindsets. The reason, again, I do this is for the mindset of showing how I play, how I duel, and the mistakes that I make, because I learn from rewatching my replays. Our first duel, we're against Blue Eyes, and we go first. We are showing this to show how Yubel can weave combos after getting hand traps. Even though we get hand trapped, the deck is very flexible to still end on certain boards. Maybe not the full board from the other replays that I've shown, but still at a almost end board still. So just going off on it. We go first. We have full gas here, and they just imperm right away. Very smart thing to do here. It seems not good, but when this gets impermed, I just said to myself, just Nightmare Pain. Nightmare Pain to destroy. Spirit to get Squirmer, to get a body. Squirmer then gets chained with Fuvelos. Fuvelos then gets Ash. I was praying no Maxi here, because if so, it's not a good thing. So we have Ghost Ogre here because, again, we are testing back and forth Bestials. So, again, play hand traps as you can. Bestials is sort of like a hand trap right now, and it's just a free level 6 body. The reason we're going back and forth, if you're wondering, is because we have High King Caesar. It's the easier way to access High King Caesar easier. So, Fuvelos does that. We summon Yubel. Send the 2 because that's negated for Spirit. Gruesome to destroy Yubel to get Yubel Terra Incarnate. Going into the Unchained package. Unchain to get us nothing because it gets negated here. So we have to actually negate that to let it go through. So we're playing with a lot of things that they're throwing at us. That's already 3 hand traps, and we're still gonna end on a respectable board. So we get Yama here. Spirit of Yubel gets back Yubel because it's not once per turn. Remember that, guys. When it's destroyed, you can still special summon from deck, graveyard, or hand. So we banish that to get Spirit, and then Yubel to get Nightmare Pain. So yeah, we just played through 3 hand traps, and we still managed to have bodies to go into Unchained. Now the reason you go to Unchained here is because you want it to get popped, and then we could just add cards back to our hand. I believe I'm putting away Phantom because we want to summon it again for another body. So Unchained to target, and then Unchained to banish. We could easily have gone to Varudris here, but it's 1 Omni Negate isn't enough right now. So we send it back. We link for Moon to break us out of Fiend Lock with Shirvara. Shirvara sets. Going into Requiem, we all know this too well. Requiem for Lacrima. Lacrima sends Engraver. get special from the grave, linking the 2 for sequence. Sequence to send the 2 for Lacrima, Fiendsmith Lacrima. Lacrima to bring this back. The reason we bring it back to our hand is to get Lurie as a body, extra body. Sending that for Lurie. Now you could easily just go for Hiking Caesar if you guys want to. I just like to follow up with track for later if we have to go to turn 3. So having that in the grave is pretty useful. Fable Lurie, linking the all 4 to get a full power Appaloosa. With Lacrima, sending it, burning for 12, sending it 2 for... So again, maybe it's more optimal to go into Hiking Caesar here, but I just wanted all the negates because I just wanted full power Appaloosa. It can easily still lose, but they already used these 3 hand traps. In my mind, unless they top deck it, I don't see them breaking this unless they use like Dark Ruler no more or kept the imperm this whole time, which I highly doubt, so they just quit. We had a total of, just sharing real quick, to 4 monster negates and then 1 hand trap plus the Soul of Rage into Little Knight 2 banishes. That's 8 interruptions. So another going first deck, we're fighting Fiendsmith Control going first. We use track to try to bait, get Lurie. Seems like they didn't have anything at this time. Lurie gets specials, going into Requiem. Requiem tributes itself for Lacrima. Lacrima sends Engraver. Engraver gets special. 2 actually get interrupted. This is the interesting one. So this gets interrupted and banished. So not good, so we just normal summon Dark Beckoning Beast to get opening of the Spirit Gates. Now in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, so we know now what we're fighting against. We're playing Fiendsmith Control. They might have another Bestial or so. So we get Chaos Summoning Beast here, double summon Lotus. At this time, I don't think anything was lighting up for me, as I recall. I Nightmare Pain here. Going into sequence, sending the 2 for Lacrima. The reason we're finishing in my mind this is because I want to actually go a different route and go into Hiking Caesar here. A very different play from what we usually do. The reason we do this here is because I believe their board was still going red. So I wanted to threaten to go into DD Hiking Caesar so they can't nib, they can't do any more Bestials, and we rip cards from their hand. Finally, it works, and they use Ghost Ogre for it. I think they misplayed because, again, opening the Spirit Gate is just gonna bring it back. So I add it back to my hand because I own a level 10 or higher. And then I discard for Samsara de Lotus, linking the 2, going into Yama. Yama to Unchain. Unchain to destroy. To special Yubel. Linking to Unchain Soul of Rage. Setting. Putting the 2 away for Phantom. Linking all 3 for Appaloosa. And using the second Phantom of Yubel. The reason we do that is because, again, I don't like using Phantom as a fodder for extra deck, but in this case we had to, just because of the Bestial interruption and because we couldn't extend with Nightmare Pain, so we had less bodies, so we had to unfortunately just use Phantom. Again, the mindset of Yubel, from the way I look at things, is that when your opponent, you want to trade hand traps, because this deck can eat hand traps, and the more hand traps they use and the more of a board that you have, the harder it is for them to come back. So with this, we have 4 monster negates, 1 special summon negate, 1 hand trap, and then Soul of Rage, opponent's special summon monster, plus 2 banishes. 9 interruptions right here. Opponent goes, oh, plus nib, that's 10. They play Primite, and we do not want to see any Primite stuff, so let's negate that. and it's easily protected with the 1600. I believe they try to go to battle phase. It says that when you're holding the on button. So we do that, and they called by the grave. Pretty good timing there. Really better that we did not use Phantom of Yubel here, because they would have easily went with Primite. So that's why it's important to use Apollosa, because when you have Nightmare Pain, you want Apollosa to be your interruption first before you go use Yubel, in my opinion, because the out of Called by the Grave might be detrimental. And then we get back Soul of Rage from Unchained. They try to send Lubellion to get negated again. We have protection because we have Yubel still. They try to send for Lubellion. At this point, I said to myself, let's finally send it, because I think it's safe enough for it to resolve, destroy Spirit, and get Yubel so they can double attack each other. They Lordy Load here for Drill Beam. Use its effect, and thankfully, this is where Ghost Ogre comes in handy, destroys it. If it wasn't for Ghost Ogre, it still could possibly work. That would have either been a Magna Hut or Druis Worm. Still messing around with it, but definitely worked out for this one. For this duel, the third duel, we're fighting P.U.N.K. The point of showing this replay is to show how I got staggered and had to build a half board. This was a grindy win with half boarding. So showing this off, we Engraver to get Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom we Called by the Grave here. 8, we get Fiendsmith Track. Trying to still bait with Track, but honestly, our only play is with Engraver, honestly. So if this gets negated, we're almost possibly dead on the water. So sending Engraver, getting Engraver, banishing Track, linking the 2 for Lacrima. Lacrima trying to get Engraver special, linking the 2 for Sequence, sending Lacrima back for 12, Sequence gets negated here. So this is what I mean by staggered and half board. The normal summon Fuvalos just to banish something, and yeah, we're pretty much all we have is one banishment, one hand trap monster. Okay. 2 interruptions here, not the best. They have 4 cards. I thought it's over. They're emergency teleporting P.U.N.K, their starter. Now, I was told not to interrupt this card because it's gambling. They might still have the out, but we impermit. Anyways, negate. They when they summoned this, I knew, or did that, I knew. Oh no, they're gonna have a board now. So banish the 2, hoping they can't do anything. They were paying life points, adding a card battle phase. That's when I knew they didn't have anything, thankfully. But we still have to go through a interruption here. We top deck a really good card, Dark Beckoning Beast, but we're gonna try to bait with Fiendsmith. That's why Fiendsmith is so potent, because it's a secondary grindy engine that if that gets negated, I'll just go back to what I was doing type of mindset, in my opinion. So we send back to get Called by the Grave here. Not the best thing, but we have another Engraver. We normal summon Dark Beckoning for opening to get, what's the word? This gets destroyed. So not good here. Gating that. Linking the 2 for Muckracker to discard our Yubel. And special summon Engraver. This is the cool thing about Muckracker. We are Fiend locked here. It is negated, so we can't use its effect. So we send the 2 for Phantom of Yubel. That's why it was okay. Muckracker is really useful because even though we discard our Yubel, it's not going to do anything anyways. They have no hand. I'm about to smash into these 2. I knew the tides have turned. I attack. They try to target to increase its attack. I attack over it. And at this point, they have their top decking. Nothing. They quit. Pretty good half-board example of showing a grindy play. Another duel against Fiendsmith Control. This example for this duel, the reason I'd like to share it is because it shows full combo, weaving plays with Dark Beckoning Beast play, and Fiendsmith locked misplay due to linking. I want to share this because it's a mistake. I want you to realize with my gameplay, maybe you can learn from it. Playing, thinking to myself, we are gonna bait with Engraver, because if this gets negated, we have Nightmare Throne, but keep in mind we do have 2 Called by the Graves, so I wasn't too worried. We get tracked. Tracked for Crimson Tears to send Fabled Lurie. Lurie, special summoning itself, linking, Requiem to get Lacrimea and getting Engraver. Banishing Crack for Lacrima. Lacrima getting Engraver. Linking the 2 for sequence. This is important again, you have to use, in order to have enough bodies, you have to use Fiendsmith Track this way. Getting Dark Beckoning Beast. And then putting the 2 away for Aerial Eater. Aerial Eater dumping Samsara di Lotus. Linking the 2 for Lord of Yama. Lord of Yama for Shibara. Banishing the 2 Lacrima and Engraver. We still have 1 that's in the grave Engraver, or in the deck. Going back, linking the 2 for Unchained. Unchained to get popped by Shibara to use the effect to special summon Soul of Rage and add it back to our hand. The reason we do this is because we want to double summon. We want the extra body with Soul of Rage because it's a link 2 and we could link climb easier. Normal summon Dark Beckoning Beast to get interrupted here. This is what I mean. This is the bad part. We can no longer double summon. So that is not good in our part. Gets negated. Linking the 2 for Muckracker. Unchained to set Abominable. This to special summon. So this is the fun part about Muckracker. Now we are Fiend locked, alright? However, the outplay here is that this was imperm negated. We're unable to get Opening of the Spirit Gates, however, the double summon effect is still available. Easily right there, going into the Yubel plays or Nightmare Pain. Nightmare Pain to extend to get Squirmer and destroy Spirit, and special summon to get 2 bodies, Yubel and Terror Incarnate. Linking the 2 for Moon of Closed Heaven. This is where I messed up, guys. I wanted to break myself out. This is the problem. Now I cannot even use Soul of Rage. Big misplay here. You can't use anything with Soul of Rage now. I lose 3 interruptions here. Mistake. So with this, we have 1 protection, 1 monster negate, 1 hand trap. That's it. We messed up. 3 interruptions. Please learn from this. Do not do this. Look at where these are pointing. Can't use it. They Primite Roar, special summon, linking into Requiem. Requiem to tribute. This is where you use Call by the Grave because I want to save you Bell's effect. Banishing and negating. So now their Fiendsmith is already almost offline. They Lacrima here. This is where we negate it. To get Called by the Grave, that was revenge on their part. And then they can get back Engraver. I thought, uh-oh, darn it, I messed up because now I don't have anything. So I thought I'm bad to the bone. Sending for Lurie, we all know this. Special. They banish the 2 for Lacrima. Sending back, so now they are hiking Caesar battle phase. Finally destroying Moon of Closed Heaven with Muckraker's effect and able to use the effect. We are just trying to bait at this point by doing that. Soul of Rage gets destroyed, but we can negate by destroying. So that's good on our part. And they burned us for 1200. We draw another Nightmare Throne, link the 2 off into Little Knight to bait out and just get it banished. They do a good job by doing that with our Squirmer, so now we can't get back Yubel. So really good here, but they have no hand, they have no field, and we still have Soul of Rage and Nightmare Throne. Nightmare Throne gets a Dark Beckoning Beast again. Dark Beckoning Beast for the second time, trying to get Opening of the Spirit Gates. Opening of the Spirit Gates to get Chaos Summoning Beast to double summon. Nightmare Pain, destroy for Spirit of Yubel. Discard Yubel to get Yubel. And add Yubel, or Nightmare Pain, to our hand. Linking all 3 into Apollosa. That's to stop Fiendsmith. Here, we cannot attack because of our Little Knight. They have a empty DD Height Wave King Caesar. They tried to send back. We negate that with Yubel. I should have used Apollosa instead, because if they called by the grave there, that would have been not good, but they surrendered. Pretty good grindy game. Very bad mistake there. So a game where we finally go second is against White Forest. White Forest is basically a Maxi save. Without Maxi, this wouldn't have happened. Absolutely outplayed this White Forest player, but really good one too. We all know White Forest from my original gameplay. They sent LZ, or Tails, to special summon LZ to get Sylvie. I draw one from that. Thankfully it goes through. They set. If it wasn't for Maxi, they would have full comboed us, so they just got woes and set. Our goal here is to basically, they only have hand traps and a Book of Eclipse in my mind. So that's 2+ interruptions that we have, that they have. So we Engraver here to see if they have anything. I don't think it lit up anything other than woes. So Lurie to get discarded, Lurie to special, going into Rekiv. Now, my mindset is we have to interrupt the woe. The best way to do that is to summon Engraver and Lacrima to send Sylvie to the graveyard. Then they can no longer, they're forced. We're forcing them, we're baiting them to Book of Eclipse here. Now, if they do not, well, they're gonna miss timing. So they have to do it now. Really cool part here, guys. They link here, or synchro here, to miss timing with Engraver. Chain 2 to negate me. We call by the grave that we don't want them to extend here with LZ and get Azamina stuff. So we negate that to get interrupted here and upset. But little do they know here, track still works. So that there's basically no point. No matter what they have done with Book of Eclipsing, I can still play. Set cards were now put into Lacrima Fiendsmith as if nothing happened. Going into Engraver. The only problem here now is if they nib us. We go into sequence, burning them by sending back Lacrima. Going into Aerial Eater to dump. At this point, they better stop me now. Unfortunately, they do not. Going into Yama. Yama for sure Vara. Then we get Opening of Spirit Gates for the Dark Beckoning Beast. Get a second copy. Discard the second copy for Lotus to get interrupted and negated. So cool thing with Shavara, we could dodge timing like that and destroy it. Destroying it, missing timing, linking the two for muckracker. Now we're gonna fiend lock us here, but you know, that's why muckracker's pretty important here, because it shows you that muckracker situationally can push for one more play to go into at least Yubel combo. You'll be fiend locked, but you could still play. Discarding Yubel. At that point, no matter what they would have had, I would have at least gotten Yubel, smashed into them, probably tried to burn them with Lacrima and finish that game. For the final game, we're fighting Sharks, and we go first. In my mind again, we always like to use Engraver. We have full combo here. We like to use Engraver as the bait, testing it out, testing the waters. So again, a lot of Fiendsmith stuff here. This whole replay for this video. Starting this, checking if they have anything, but I believe we go full combo here. So, you know, we get Lacrima, Engraver, specials, Vanishing Track to go into Lacrima to get negated here. We get staggered then a little bit. Normal summon D-Lotus, that's our only play now. If this gets negated, we can't continue. So that also gets negated. Not good here. Link the two for sequence here. Thankfully we had a body. Lacrima sends Engraver, burning for 12. Vanish, going for 3, going for Desiree. Going for Phantom, set 2, attach on. This interruptions, we have 1 monster negate, 2 field negates, 2 hand traps, 5 interruptions. They play Hydrojet Shark, we negate it. Don't want to use Yubel just in case they do something. Holding it. They try to special here, that's when we negate it. And they called by. Good call to wait. Now we can use Desiree's effect. And they surrendered. Pretty good, pretty fast. For our second duel, Meta Weekly for 164, we are fighting Infernoble Knights, and shout out to Huncho, he always tops. Really good player. Loved to duel this guy. Yeah, it was fun. So I believe, or they go first, my mistake. And we had the out. We had the Max C, the seeing his hand. He had full gas. I am not too aware of how Infernoble goes, but they definitely combo for quite some time. And our opponent tries to attach, destroying it, and just special summoning it up. And this is where we Max C, trying to get some value off it, hoping it doesn't get negated. Goes through. Special, we draw. Pretty good card to draw. Top decking. We already want to destroy the Noble Museum arms. I don't know if this is a choke point. Again, I'm not too familiar or experienced against Infernobles. But yeah, destroying this, they won't be able to add because it's no longer on the field. So we do that and we try to find an out. Destroying that. Opponent still attempts a special, and we draw another great hand trap. Now, my chat helped me out with this one. I should not have had I Ash Blossom here, thinking that this is the right stop. I didn't know I had the second effect, but supposedly I should have Ashed the second effect per my viewers, so thanks for that. I will try to learn the second effect. If you guys don't know, is you can send any number of equipped monsters with different names from your deck, special summon. I thought that was okay because we just didn't want him to add and extend anymore, because they'll force them to either special summon or just end right here. But they actually do that, and when they sent something, they special summon, and I drew again, and they are chaining to get it back to hand. And from what I was told, Infernoble Knights is probably one of the highest win rated decks. And then we mulch armies here too. Really good draw here. I was low-key scared we were gonna draw out here, because they were gonna like over combo and make us deck out. But for them, they have 3 monster negates, and I believe this has an effect, a quick effect. You can send one face-up equipped monster and negate. So they typically have 4 interruptions here. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone. So we're full gas here, and I want to just try to bait with Engraver, because Dark Beckoning is my most important, or second most important, and then Throne being the third last, I believe. So we try to bait here, and they let it go through. So then we Throne here to destroy Nightmare of Yubel, or Spirit, because we already have Nightmare Pain in our hand, and this is where we're trying to get some negates off. Gate here. We send back, so we have insulation, because we already have a second one, so we have protection to try to get open of the spirit gates here. So they try to negate that, and we let it go through. Negate, destroys, and they add that back to their hand. Pretty good recursion there. Nightmare Pain, we Fiendsmith track to get Engraver, Flurry to send to the grave, Flurry to get special summon to get negated. Pretty good negate there, but we Yubel here. And they cannot chain because Apollosa only can do 1 chain. So that was pretty good on my part. We destroy the second spirit, and they negate for their final negate we played through. But we still have Fiendsmith Requiem. They have 1 more negate with Apollosa here. And if they do not negate this, we're sending their Apollosa down the drain. And they let it go through. We track to banish the 2 to go to Lacrima. Lacrima tries to grab. Now, something really good about Lacrima that I've stopped their choke point. They're at 200 attack. That's because of Lacrima's effect, that all monsters your opponent control lose 600 attack. Easy there, we attack it because we can't synchro it off, and then they negate. So we go in battle phase there, and they're at 2800 life points. They have 2 cards left, and we burn them 1600. Go into Aerial Eater. Aerial Eater dumping Samsara de Lotus, linking into Unchained Soul of Yama. And I believe I did not even use Engraver's graveyard effect to get an extra body to go into Soul of Rage to pop to get into Samsara de Lotus. Really well played there, because then we pop, then we have 2 effects. We put back Phantom of Yubel so we can use it again, and we special summon Samsara de Lotus. Really, really well played. They had 4 interruptions, and we played through 3 of them. That is all because of Max C. Thank you that it went through, and then we just kept drawing hand traps. Really good probabilities there. We go into Spirit. Spirit gets us another copy of Pain. Pain to destroy for Squirmer, and we are just going crazy. This is it. You're just summoning all the Yubels. That had to be just the eventual defeat. That was game 1, and now for game 2, they are going first, and man, their hand is really good that they could do so much with just 2 cards. It's crazy. We have no interruptions here, so they're playing a full board. What's crazy, I don't even know about this. They actually really scared me. I have not seen this card in a long time. Neospatian Aqua Dolphin. They look at my discard a card, look at my hand, and destroy a card. Crazy. Destroy Samsara D Lotus, burn 500. They just go full combo here. I still don't know how they work, Infernoble Knights, but yeah, they're super combo heavy. They play Isolde. Isolde's dropping all that, special summoning Infernoble, adding cards back to their hand. I thought, oh, I think I'm just gonna have to press the red button just because I don't think I'll be able to play. They have a lot of layered interruption and a strong like 5-man board. So they go into battle boxing, add a level 4, special summon it, Sender, grab back to their hand, go into Promethean, their Firelock, Promethean to link up into Angelica Princess, getting their field spell played, field spell to get an equipped card, just chaining, sending a card, banishing that, cheat summoning. I didn't know what to say there. Day connection failed. We definitely would have went to a game 3, but we 2-0'd them. Shout out again to Huncho. They were really fun to duel. Amazing deck. So our third duel, Meta Weekly 164, we were so close to making top 16. We just had to have beaten T2 Spectre. Shout out to Team T2. They are crazy good. Probably one of the best community tournament participants. Yes, I hope to duel them more often. They are amazing and you gain a lot of experience. I, for one, wished I could have played better against them. They start off with Ash and we only have a nib. So we were timing when the best time to nib would be. But showing off this replay is to show how you can improve as a player. And because of that, I definitely learned when to nib, or actually a skill to hold the auto on and off button with your mouse. Because yeah, they're doing Snake Eyes things, going into Fiendsmith combo here. They go into Requiem here. They're ready to get nibbed. So we were holding the off button the whole time because I didn't want to show it to them. And as they're playing, they go into sequence. Sequence goes for Black Lacrima. This is where I should have nibbed. I unfortunately, right here, I'll pause right here, I didn't hold the on button. Noob part on my part. Scrub action right there. I messed up because, you know what? They have 2 level 6. You guys know what's coming next. I miss timing. And because of that, I could have had a smaller board to play. No matter what, looking at their hand now, I don't think it would have mattered. Either way, they had an extender with Diabell Star. Easily could still have built a board, gotten OSS, and still summoned all these monsters. Because OSS for Oak and played like this and probably had one less body. But they go into full Snake Eyes combo. OSS to send that. Oak to bring it back. Yeah, no. Again, it wouldn't have mattered. They would have built a board. And, well, it's not an excuse. It's a way to improve. So they go into this. Link to 3 for Apollosa. Bring back. And here. They have 1 special summon negate, 3 monster negates, IP to SP, banish, nib, or 2 hand trap, 8 interruptions. Not including per princess 9 interruptions. We go, open him Spirit Gates, try to get Dark Beckoning Beast. They droll us. We call by the grave that. So far so good. Okay, Dark Beckoning Beast to get Chaos Summoning Beast. They summon IP. IP to Little Knight. They are trying to banish, so we can't double summon. So we just summon Squirmer to get negated. So now we can not double summon, and we used our normal summon. We are out of options here, and they have follow-up now with all the Snake Eyes cards. Nightmare Pain, destroy Squirmer to try to get Spirit. Discard Spirit to Special Spirit, pretty good tech there to get Nightmare Pain. Squirmer to try to get a body to get negated. Because we were gonna attempt to double summon there. Battle phase, we just attack. Fortunately, they're summoning and they could go for lethal now. So here, they link for Moon of Closed Heavens, going back into Fiendsmith stuff. Going back into Requiem. Requiem gets back Engraver, Engraver attach, Engraver detaches, battle phase, smash. It was a pretty good game one. So starting off already game two, we go first. They just mulch armies here. So we called by the grave that just to get mulch army the second time. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Really hurts. So they still have mulch armies online. Main phase 1. We opening of the Spirit Gates. Get Chaos Summoning Beast. Normal summon Dark Beckoning Beast. Dark Beckoning Beast gets opening of the Spirit Gates. Double summon, sending the 2. They draw 1. End phase. He didn't want them to draw too much, but look at their hand now. Wow, pretty good. They try to Engraver, and we are met with a sad Phantom of Yubel getting called by. Really strong weakness, feels bad. Doesn't work. They track for Lurie. My only thought here was maybe, just maybe, Ghost Ogre can finish this. With Lacrima, we try to pop it so then they can extend here. They'll have one monster. I was praying they didn't have Necroquip or something, but they just normal summoned Ash Blossom, going into Sequence for Lacrima. Maybe I should have used Ogre better, but no matter what, they would have gotten too many bodies for me to do anything. So now, at this point, they are just trying to go for lethal, and they do just that. Well played, well played. Going into IP and burning me for the rest. Shout out to T2, Team T2, you guys are amazing. I hope I can duel you again. Now, for the Meta Weekly 165, we fought Zeus, and also a really great player. I was glad to duel him. We fought Fiendsmith Control. And with this duel, we hand-trapped them once, and they ended up just doing Caesar passing, which was enough for them to win. However, I wanted to share my mistakes here with these snippets. Unfortunately, I apologize. I was not able to get a video of it. But with my hand, there was variations of how to bait my opponent. With my hand, The first thing I wanted to do here was summon Dark Beckoning Beast. Dark Beckoning Beast will get us opening of Spirit Gates, and opening the Spirit Gates will get us Chaos Summoning Beast. And to double summon, that can get negated by Caesar. And at that point, that is the pivotal and important part of how to bait. Our goal is to try to bait Caesar, assuming they don't have any more hand traps or anything to disrupt us with these two cards, which we will never know what it was. We end up getting opening Spirit Gates a second time because we summoned Chaos Summoning Beast and then played Gates. So we have discard fodder here. And when we did this, we normal summoned Chaos Summoning Beast and linked it to Moon of Closed Heavens. And then eventually we came to this board. This board has options that I could have done, and maybe, just maybe, he wouldn't have negated. Within my stream, I'll link the time zone of this match. He let it go through. I would have opened of the Spirit Gates, discarded opening of the Spirit Gates, and then summoned Dark Beckoning Beast. And then what I should have done there, if he let that go through, was link summoning into SP Little Knight and then banishing it. Now, if the opponent negated opening of the Spirit Gates, I would have tried to bait him with Fiendsmith Requiem, and if he negated that, then 1-for-1 would have been free. The whole point of this was to share how you need to kind of think how to bait your opponent and get 1-for-1 to be played. Unfortunately, I was very inexperienced and I just felt very pressured with time that I played it incorrectly. In the stream you will see, but what I should have done, assuming he had no hand traps, I should have tried the bait with opening of Spirit Gates and went into SP Little Knight to try to threaten Caesar, and then went 1-for-1 if he got banished, or if he negated it, then I would have tried to use Requiem to try to get me Lacrima or Engraver and attach and detach it, try to beat the other Caesar, and then 1-for-1. No matter what, it was a really good 1-for-1, but we won't know what the cards was in Zeus's hand, but they ended up 2-0ing us, and this was just a quick game. You know, we got dropped real fast in round 1, but we learned a lot, so was really good. That was it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that Yubel Fiendsmith. I have mastered the deck. There's still a lot to learn with interactions with other decks. By no means, again, am I a pro. Am I good at this? I like to share my replays to learn from them. So I hope you guys also learned something too. Thank you for always watching. I hope you guys can cheer me on in the World WCQ here, because I want to do the best I can and try to put Yubel on the map. It's a very good deck. I really love it. We're messing around with ratios with the Bestials, but again, play the hand traps as you will. The ratios of Yubel stays the same. Super consistent. I feel like it's only getting stronger because of all the other hits of other decks. Yes, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Look out for more videos with Yubel, and hopefully eventually all the newer cards I'd like to showcase too, like Malice and Ryzeal. So yes, guys, take care. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless.